What's good, YouTube? Welcome to another video. It is your boy Shivs. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. A few of you commented to say that you'd love to see me commentate over some gameplay. And I reached out to Casual and I asked permission to do a reaction video to his world first plus 15 Necrotic Wake run that they just completed. So I'm really excited to try this one out. Let me know if you enjoy the video. Give it a like. Drop me a comment if you'd like to see more videos like this. And perhaps maybe we could do a 15 plus reaction series. By the end of this video, you guys are going to be an expert in Necrotic weight. So yeah, who is Casual? So Casual Addict is currently, I think, rank 1 DPS across all class specializations in the world right now in Mythic Plus. He has a number of world rank 1 keys as of this moment right now, and him and his team were the first to do 15 on Necrotic weight. So super impressive run. I'm going to run you through quickly kind of his build here, show you what he was running. So one thing to call out, which is quite interesting, quite high versatility. I myself only have like 1 or 2% verse. Casual's running 8%, and a lot of this I think right now is probably just down to item level. Like whatever you can get is kind of what you're running. For example, he's running the mythic dagger in his main hand that you get from the third boss, I believe, third or second boss in the mythic raid, which has versatility on it. The build he's running is the cleave build, so I'll put the talents down in the description below. It's the hybrid build. A few other things to note as well. Trinkets is the transmitter, so the one where there's a mini game that gives you a huge stat buff. Probably because it's just the best one that he's got access to right now. I'm not sure if it's BIS or not. Let me know your thoughts. Personally, I think Scarden's Grace is still really strong as the unused trinket. But he has got this on the mythic track, so this is why I think he's running this one. And then Void Reaper's Contract, which I don't think is that good in M+, personally. For me, it's only done somewhere between like 2 to 4% of my damage breakdown, if that. Anyway, let's get into the route. So here it is. This is what I believe is the route that they ran. As far as I can tell, I'm sort of 99% sure this is what they did. The only thing I'm not sure on is whether they skipped these two mobs. Which they for pool 7 they may have included this, and in pool 1 they may have dropped those mobs there. I can't really tell. Hopefully we'll be able to see as the video goes on, but the main thing to note here is pool 1 is a huge pool. We're going to run through the gameplay in a minute, but just to give you a quick idea of what you'll see. Pool 1 is a huge pool with the gatekeeper. They then shroud, pick up the spear, skip all of this, go straight over here for a mini pool to let their cooldowns recharge. Then they pull the boss. Then moving through to the next section, this one is a nice chilled pull. And then they do a really big pull here, where I believe they use this anima orb here. I think the tank uses that. And then they collect this and they use that later on, and they grab that shield. And I believe they possibly use both of these later on as well. We'll try and spot this in the comms as we're watching the video. Pool 6 has some nice tech. So Casual actually goes through and blinds the mage, meaning they can pull the rest of these mobs across here. And cleave all these down without having to worry about kicking the frostbolt volley from the mage. So that's a super nice tip. Okay, then there's another shroud. They run through, they pick up the shield while shrouded, they run around the back of these mobs, and then they do a really big pull here. This is one of the biggest pulls I think I've seen so far in this area. Again, not too sure if these extra casters are included, but we'll try and spot that. But they'll be using one of the anima orbs here. Oh yeah, quick explanation on what these tools do. I'll put an image up on the screen. You can see here what they do. So there's a couple of items. There's the javelin, the orb, and the shield. I don't know if this hammer even exists anymore. But basically the javelin just makes the mob take increased damage for a period of time. Currently these stack. But quick caveat, as of the October 15th, they will no longer be able to stack on the target. So what you'll see in this gameplay is they put all 3 spears, or at least 2 spears, I think all 3 on the boss, and then they just nuke it down super fast. The orb does huge AoE pulsing damage for 8 seconds, and for every second it pulses, it will also interrupt all of the casts that are going off at that time. So you're basically getting like interrupting all mobs for 8 seconds. It's insane. It's really powerful, and it's why they're able to pull off these bigger pulls. And then the shields just reduces the damage that everybody takes by 50% for a couple of seconds. I think it's either 6 seconds or 8 seconds. It's really good to use at the start with that gatekeeper, which is exactly why they, I think I didn't actually explain, they sap this first mob just so they can pick up that shield. If you've got a demon hunter tank, they can also cage this mob, pick up this shield, and then they can use it with that first pull on the gatekeeper. All right, going back to those changes then, as of the 15th. So as of the 15th, Blizzard have changed the way that this dungeon runs. There's probably going to be slightly different routes in place because they've increased the forces contributions from the from some of the skeletal monasteries. I don't really know what mobs they are, but they've reduced the percentage count required or the amount of mobs needed to hit percentage. They've reduced the AoE, which I don't think is really relevant. It's not going to change too much, especially with that shield and defensives, things like that. It's not really a problem. The javelin's no longer stacked, so that's huge. So Blizzard, and furthermore, the boss's health is reduced and the add damage, the ticking rot damage is reduced. So Blizzard clearly don't want us to one phase this boss anymore. They want it to they want the fight to be a bit longer, how it's originally been designed to do. And so that will change the route a bit. We got here, didn't we? So we got here. Yeah, the rest of it's pretty chill, right? We just combine those, and in here they do a huge pull as soon as after the third boss they go up. The second boss, they go up and they do this huge pull again. I believe they use an orb here. We'll hear that on the comms. I think they use an orb, so they don't have to kick or worry about kicks. Yeah, and then that's everything else is self-explanatory. Let's check it out. All right, here we go. So straight away, sap the harvester so the tank can pick up the shield. Let's just have a quick look at what we're tracking here in the UI. We have the timer up here in the top right. We can see some defensives over here for the group. Here we've got AoE CC for the group, and then we have our kicks. All right, and then we have obviously WeCore is here in the middle, just showing us abilities, and then we have the rotation down the bottom, what he's pressing.
Collect or stand in circle.
Alright, so we're hitting last first pull, obviously. We have this gatekeeper in here, which we're cleaving off of, which has insane amounts of HP. And they killed it just as that second Wrath spell was going through from the gatekeeper, which is really nice. Tank's doing a little bit of kiting there, just jumping out as the stacks get pretty high on those vanguards, so they start to hit really hard. So as you can see, the tank over there is just standing way out the way, just letting everybody finish them off. See how quickly he drops to 50% health there as soon as they reconnect. If you didn't already know, these cleavers do damage to any mobs that intercept the actual cleaver. So with that meat cleaver, you want to make sure that you're facing an enemy. Okay, so Shroud here to pick up the is it a javelin? I think it's a javelin over in the corner. And then we do the skip straight into this smaller pool here. Whereabouts can we see his cooldowns? Oh, here we have Kingsbane Deathmark. So as I said earlier, this is the hybrid build, which does the best overall build. So there's a bleed build which is slightly ahead in AoE, but then does less single target. This is an all-round build, very strong, very good for these higher keys where you need some big single target damage. One thing I really like is they have a kick bar over here, and it kind of cycles the kicks for them. So whoever the tank throughout this key is calling the kicks, and you'll see whoever kicks next, their name shows at the top, and it cycles the order for them. That's just a setting that you can do in Omni CD. So yeah, if you're playing with an organized group, if everybody sets their Omni CD up that way, then it makes it really easy to see who should be kicking the next ability.
Collect or stand in circle.
So it looks like we popped Kingsbane and Deathmark there.
We're going to the corner and then here. It will be
So see the tank is saying to purposely take the frontal here. which spawns the ads up on the platform, and then they jump off the platform, and the boss and the ads do a massive route all the way back around. That's some nice tech there, because these guys actually hit really hard in high keys. Those little worms. I mean, any key above like maybe a 13 and above, they will pretty much kill you in 2 melees. So you don't really want to get hit by them at all, ever. So you kind of need to CC and kite them as much as possible and kill them off. Okay, let's skip ahead because this boss is pretty easy. Next pull is this Necromancer pull with the 2 casters on the left. Interestingly, they take it to the other side. I've seen most groups take it to the Necromancer, but they wait this way. Just 1 kick was needed by the looks of it to do that. So this is Grim Fate. This just does huge damage to anyone else in the circle. You just need to pop a defensive. The mage casts Frost Bolt Volley, which is an absolute must kick. If that goes off, you're probably going to wipe. Frost Bolt Volley there, so they're calling the kicks out. And then, yeah, you want to cleave off that Necromancer. As soon as that Necromancer is dead, all the mini ads despawn, and you're just left with the these 2 casters. Okay. So tank picks up the anima orb here, and this is when they do a really crazy pull, right? So the tank's just grouping them up. He takes them to the side. Got to watch out for the cleave from the Marauder. It hits really hard. Okay, and then Casual's using Iron Wire to silence all these casters in, and then we're cleaving off of the mini boss, which is Nazadar.
Collect or stand in circle.
And I believe the tank just used the orb there into the beam. And you gotta watch out for final bargain needs to be CC'd. So it's not kickable, but it can be CC'd. If it's channeling, that's absolutely fine. You kind of want to just CC it as quickly as you can. Also, a lot of healers seem to miss this, but this Nadazar casts an ability which can be purged off, and you want to instantly purge it off. I forget the name of it, but I'll put it up on the screen. You want to purge it off instantly because it just does big damage to the group, and it also makes them invulnerable to melee damage or physical damage whilst the shield is up. With the Marauders, oh, this is nice tech here. So he blinds the mage, like you can see there, the mage is blinded. And then we're pulling all the mobs away from the mage, and that way we don't have to deal with that kick. And of course, the mob still dies anyway when the Necromancer dies. As with the Marauders before, just watch out for the cleave. It is a really big cleave hitbox. Okay, it's like, think about, I don't know, 60-degree pizza slice or something. It's huge. It's probably even bigger than that, to be honest. If you're anywhere in front of the boss, you will die. So the one thing this tank does really well is they utilize Spell Reflect a lot in this key, and it's called out every single time. There's one just right there. Spell Reflect has a very short CD, which is great. So I think it's 20 seconds. So if you think about it, it's like every pack they're probably going to get like three of Spell Reflects that they don't have to kick. These Marauders, when they cast, they do a shield. When you kill the shield before it expires, the Marauder takes damage, right? So here's one now. Shield's up on that cross target. And then as soon as the shield is damaged off, they'll take a big burst of damage right at the end. Cool, let's go to the next pack. So this one's really interesting. So we're shrouding, okay? And this is the bit I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if they take these 2 casters, but we'll try and see. So they shroud through, and the tank picks up that shield on the right-hand side. Yep, and then we are taking these 2 casters. So we Iron Wire those with Garrotes. That silences them for 6 seconds. Maybe longer. And we bring everything in, including that Necromancer. We got the Marauder there, so we've got to be careful with that frontal. That stand-in circle thing is the transmitter trinket. I've only just realized that because I've not actually used that trinket myself. I kept looking at that and thinking, what is that? What mechanic is that? It's the trinket, right? It's the mini game. So basically, they popped all cooldowns here, trinkets. They didn't last, but he did pot.
Actually fucked up a bit. I will need to spread.
So they used pot here and big CDs, and they just nuked this. This pool's insane. I mean, on a plus 15,
On third boss agent.
really nice to have the shroud to be able to do that as well.
Reflect agent.
Nothing too special with this pool.
Warp into shield.
It's just getting the kicks. Obviously, Marauder, you need to kick that Howling Terror. If you don't, that's probably a wipe. Rasping Scream. Make sure you kill the shield. Let's actually have a look and see who he focuses here. So obviously we focus off. Looks like we're just cleaving off the Marauder, right? Okay, this pool's pretty easy. Let's fast forward. Check out the boss. So he used one Anima Orb on the big Necromancer pool, and we used one Anima Orb on the other Necromancer big pool that we just did. We're lusting on this boss, and we're taking him right to the side of the arena here. Yeah, maybe, I'm not too sure why we take the boss right to the side. Maybe it helps with the way the ads spawn. Because the ads normally spawn in a circle around the boss, and I guess if you're at the side of the room, then some of them spawn closer to the boss than they perhaps would have done. And that might have been the casters. If you're lucky enough to get the casters spawn on the boss, that's a big win. We'll see where the next one spawn. So, yeah, I mean, it looks like they're spawning super close to me.
I missed. Going through again, rally. Yargi going through.
I have key.
Yargi, sorry, Asia. Kick.
Damage is insane. We're on overall like 3 million for casual, 3 million, 3.1 for the balance, and then we have a Frost DK sitting on 2.7.
Asia info.
I will back next shots. Yeah.
Asia. Maybe AMZ also for safety. Careful, no, careful.
I will shoot AMZ. I'm gonna beam
No,
this.
Asia.
I hope.
And few to orb.
My
Asia.
kick, yeah.
Still Asia on boss.
Only the strongest survive.
I shockwave now.
I stop. Kick.
I do boss. Yes, I do boss now.
I have kidney.
We need to stun. My kick, Asia kick. It is half the art. Try to kill for safety.
Yeah. Kill.
Casual kick.
Okay, it's Casual's got CDs back right here. Transmitter, Deathmark, Kingsbane.
Yeah.
I think he holds here, because when they go up top, they're about to do another big pull.
Asia. Asia.
Holy fuck. It's fine.
My kick.
I kick my mage.
Yeah, I actually didn't see what caused that death there. Let's have a look.
Blind one caster if you want.
Asia.
Just the bolt?
Asia.
Oh, just a bolt.
Holy fuck.
Plus a little bit of AoE damage. That bolt did like
My kick.
maybe 80% of his health.
I kick my mage. You beam, right?
I will typhoon. Careful kick. I can
Okay,
beam.
so we full kidney the mage, which is nice.
I'm going through everything. Stops.
40 stacks going to trash.
A little bit messy here at the end, but you know the damage on these ads is just huge. But they're able to get the boss down. 16 minutes, so they have plenty of time left on the clock.
Going through.
Okay, and so as you can see, that bolt nearly hit for 5 million. Insane. I guess you're probably not going to defensive that because you assume the kick will get made. So you're probably not going to pre-feint. Let's look at there's a massive pool here. So the first pool they do up top is huge, full CDs.
Yeah, it's mono.
I think you cannot rely on orb actually. Cast is going through if it is like kicked at the end.
No.
What happened?
Focus up, please. Focus up.
And we have an orb here, so this is the third orb now that they use on this pack. They don't use it right at the start, they kind of use it mid-pull. So they
Jump
kind of
3
put the
times.
kicks on CD and then...
Don't kick now. Orb.
Oh, here we go, here's the orb.
Do not kick.
So nothing is kicked here, and the
We
orb
can
just
kick
takes
now.
care of all those
I
interrupts.
kick, yes, yes.
Double me.
And then they're back to kicking.
Me on cross.
Rinse.
I'm stunning.
I got casual. I got. Still, I got casual.
Double me.
Shockwave. Will recast. Watch out. I'm doing cross.
Just cleaning off the stitch work. Huge DPS here. Everyone's above 5 million.
Double on me.
Focus gun. Beam.
Krim is on 6.3.
I'm Kyrian.
You can be
Agent
a
double.
little.
I'm stunned.
I got it.
Let it
Can be a
clip the
little
guy.
faster.
Let it clip the guy.
Chain.
I mean,
yeah.
we need to chain, right?
Yeah, chain. I will grip the guy twice as usual.
So they double grip this crafter all the way across the room here into this pack, and then they're using that frontal cleaver to damage the ads.
My kick. Careful kick.
Yes. It will recast.
Just
Yeah, it's
don't
me.
miss the crafters, yeah, and we can save damage.
Careful.
Do not miss the crafters.
So it's saying don't CC the crafter, so that because the crafter is the one that does the big frontal, which does massive damage to the mobs. So they're saying like try not to kill the crafter off.
Agent kicked. Should be insta kick. Like he's healing up.
That's right.
And definitely you can CC them as well during those frontals, so you want to make sure that you're kind of not stunning them.
Chain insta. Let's go. Need to save some time. Need to play the next crafters perfectly.
I will be missing on the crafters.
My kick. Pot.
No
Everyone pot
toilets
now.
yet.
Pot.
I will when I have pull
Excuse me. Yeah. So this mob,
Me. Casual.
it's just the standard stitch work. This ball's pretty chill.
I got casual. I got you.
Where he's
Jump
saying
3
I got
times.
casual, that's him intervening. He does intervene a lot as well in this key. Super good, nice. I think he's intervening the throw fleshes.
My kick. Crims.
Are stunning.
Only one.
Okay, so he jumps out here, swaps to subtlety just for the last two bosses, just for even higher burst single target to help with getting the kill in that important phase with the 3 spears coming into the third boss.
And from skull to cross. And focus skull. My kick. Asia.
So you want to be making sure you get through cleaver on the yads here, you can hit each other, and it does huge damage. It will also interrupt the fixates.
Focus cross.
Asia.
So here he takes that cleaver behind the assistant, and it kills him.
I got casual.
And you saw the tank intervened for that throw flesh from this mini boss because this one hits even harder.
Revenge. It's fine.
Jump 3 times.
Right, I'm gonna skip this ball.
Look for the clipboard.
And the next one, okay, Rot Spew. So
I will
Rot
send
Spew
you
basically
that one.
targets. He does constant ticking melee damage. So you see here, Poison Cloud. It's just unavoidable. And then Spew Disease. So we cloak that one, which means it just gets rid of it, which is really nice. Spew Disease needs a massive defensive, and if you're a melee, you kind of need to take it out of the group when it's on you. So here he kind of already pre-runs
Jump 3
out.
times.
It looks like that one got immuned. Probably anti-magic shell or whatever it's called.
More prayer.
One on Crim gets dropped there.
I'm moving. Asia without. Careful without. There is a poop
But
behind.
yeah, it will pretty much one-shot you if you don't have a defensive up, or especially on 15. You know, I think we're doubling up. So here we use, what did we use? We used Feint
If it's on me,
and
should I
Crimson
realize
Vial
or-
there, and Evasion. So we used 2 defensives and Crimson Vial just to make sure we didn't die.
I can talk to you.
Mage if it's on me.
On me.
Asia.
Next one's on the healer. The healer just used Wall.
No, no. I need 48 from now.
That's a lot.
So here it's interesting. We just pause this for 1 second. It says I need 48 from now. So what he's talking about is Shadow Blades. He needs his Shadow Blades back, and what they're trying to do is line up cooldowns for when the boss gets gripped down. So not for the pull, but when the boss gets gripped down. So they're able to coordinate CDs
Yeah,
perfectly.
if you pull when I have it on 15, it should be fine. The Shadow Blades, do you track it? 38 from now.
Yes, I'm tracking.
Yeah.
Boss is jumping
We
in
have
20
pots.
seconds.
We have pots in 40 anyway, so it's fine. So. At least I have pots. You guys probably press that.
Yes, it's same as casual series. We are pulling in 10 seconds.
Okay. Sounds
They
good.
also use their
Whenever we
pots
are
in
getting
sync
driven
throughout the
first,
whole
check
key,
it
which
now.
just enables them to
3,
always
2,
know when
1.
their big bursts are available, line up those cooldowns.
And try to press spear through the mob.
You see we pulled now, even though Shadow Blades is like 15 seconds to CD. But it should be back, more or less, for when it needs to be. Okay, and then they're going to triple spear this boss, stack 3 spears, which you can't do as after the 15th of October, but right now you can.
Jump 3 times.
They pop everything here: Flagellation, Shadow Blades, Death Mark, Shadow Dance, Pot, Lust, 3 spears.
Spearing. Pots. Mob. Mob should die. We should be fine. Mob is kinda dying. To the boss.
Everyone's doing above 3 million DPS here. Yeah, which is crazy if you think about the, you know, they're doing way more than that in that actual burst. And the boss is at 20%. Grip straight back in again. You definitely don't want to kick that. You need to make sure that ad isn't going to die too soon, because you need to grip it straight back, and you don't want it to die. Otherwise, you'll cause a delay. And as you can see, this was enough to kill the boss really before the rot damage got too big.
Fine, it's that.
6 minutes. And we need to instant sit, drink.
All right, so 6 minutes for the last boss. Let's go check that out. We're still subtlety, obviously.
Jump 3 times.
So the hardest part here, I think,
Okay.
in the higher keys, it's not really it's not a problem at all in the lower keys. The boss has this mechanic where usually overlaps with Comet Storm, where he gets a shield,
Yeah, this is easy. We have 3
and whilst the shield is up, it does huge pulsing damage to everyone.
We will have 2 DPS. I think he's sending it
Yes,
now.
So let's have a look.
We'll do shield.
Icy Shard,
No, I don't have damage, but
that's the shield there,
With 3, with 3.
Okay, we are 3. We are 3.
and as you can see, huge damage to the group. In fact, the Druid dies.
Okay.
So you need to have a defensive up for the shield for sure. Shaman did wall. Looks like
get me out.
we didn't use bark skin, so I guess the druid probably could
I
have
have damage. I have damage. I have big
bark
damage, I have
skinned
big damage,
himself
big damage.
perhaps.
No need to press. It's 2 ticks maybe. 2 ticks. Sure we don't die here.
I'm coming upstairs with CDs. Just kill the next shield. That's all we need.
Next shield in 10.
Next shield and
I
10.
will have damage. I think I will have stop breath.
I wonder if he
I can
pops
do this shield
Shadow.
thing. What I can do.
See if he pops
Shield,
anything
no,
for
shield.
this.
Yeah, I have AMS. I have damage. I have damage.
So we feint the shield.
Watch, watch, watch.
Go other side. Careful. Watch out.
Yes, gonna skip.
I will send cooldowns soon.
You can see we're holding cooldowns. We send Flagellation into Shadow Blades, all cooldowns, everything. Death Mark.
Just fighting instant.
Jump 3 times.
I have damage for this shield, I think, as well. Yeah. I have big damage. I have big
And
damage.
shield
It's a reverse marking
spawns.
point.
We did. I had trinket up for that, which was nice.
It's gonna send me now, and then I come back with cooldowns. It's perfect.
I don't
Not
have
die.
cooldowns.
Die.
I
we
have
don't-
damage. You have damage?
I don't. I have defensives.
Might
I
be
have
4.
cooldowns. I have cooldowns. Nice up.
I have damage. 8, 5, 2, 1
It's
is
fine,
dead.
it's fine, it's fine.
You had evasion up for that one.
Yeah, I mean, Yargi came in.
I mean, the shield only seems to be doing like 2 ticks with the. As long as they have a cooldown ready for every single one, it's not a problem.
Yeah.
You're in
Shield
trouble.
now.
Mike.
Shield now. Shield now. Okay, Yargi's down. You have
Send
damage.
it.
Careful.
Yeah, yes.
5, 3, 2, 1. It's over.
Finish your comic soon.
Crims
Yes,
have
I'm
all
coming.
cities. Next shield
Not yet,
Omega
not yet.
easy.
Not yet, not
You
yet,
will
not
have
yet.
on the shield. You will have on the shield.
No, I don't have Reaper's Mark yet. That's the
We
problem.
have
here.
breath.
I don't even know what Reaper's Mark is.
I mean, I can press breath. Yeah, I can do that. I can do
Okay,
that. I'm
this
pressing
is-
breath. I'm
this
pressing
is
breath. I'm
easy.
pressing
Oh,
breath.
This is
DK was
easy.
saying
This
that.
is easy.
We have all the subtlety cooldowns here: Shadow Blade, Shadow Dance, Flagellation, Symbols.
I have Reaper's
So
Mark.
shield goes down super easy. And
You
they
will
did
need to have
use
breath.
I have big damage forever, big damage.
Okay.
I'm fine
He will
downstairs.
not. He will not send anyone anymore.
I have big damage
execute.
still.
You have to move.
Moving.
Fine.
I top you.
Shield. Age bot also.
We'll get
I
last
will-
shield. Move away.
In 1 second, last shield.
I
This
protect
is
you.
last one.
Jump 3
Last
times.
shield.
Everything. I have a lot.
Shadow blade, shadow dance,
Don't die.
symbols.
Poop. Watch out, Crims. Holy fuck.
Ooh.
Actually, a minute and a half left too, which is insane. Anyway, guys, hope you picked up a few tips and tricks from that POV. Yeah, let me know if you enjoyed this video. Maybe we'll do another one, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.